Hare Krishna. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Prabhu. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Thank you so much, devotees. Now we are reading Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, therefore the prayers must go on. Bhagavatam prayers. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Nara Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. शृण्वतां स्वकतः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृदि अन्तः स्थितो हि अभद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृसताम्. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee, who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. By regular attendance on the class of Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Krishna Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much for allowing me to read.
Jai.
All glories to Swami Prabhu for hosting. All glories to all the devotees for being present. Very good. Is it okay if I can read first, Prabhu? Is that fine?
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you very much. Very nice to see Amit Prabhu's very beautiful tilak as well.
Very
Hare
good.
Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. Very
No,
nice.
I'm just trying out as
All
you
right.
are. Just I'm trying how to make good.
Very beautiful, Prabhu. Text 28, which chapter? Canto 1 and Canto 110, text number 28, 110, 28. Hmm. नूनं व्रतस्नान उत दिनेश्वरः समर्चित्तो हि अस्य गृहीतपनीभिः पिबन्ति यः सखी अधर्मरतं मुहुः रजस्रियः सम्मुहुर्यद् आश्रयः. Nunam, certainly in the previous birth, Vrata, vow, Snana, bath, Uta, sacrifice in the fire, Adina, by all these, Ishwaraha, the personality of Godhead, Samarchitaha, perfectly worshipped, he is certainly Asya, his Grihita Panibihi, by the married wives, Pibanti, religious Yaha, those who, Sakhi, O friend, Adharamritam, nectar from his lips, Muhu, again and again. Vraja Striyaha, the damsels of Rajabhumi, Samu Muhu, often fainted, yet Ashrayaha, expecting to be favored in that way. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace about Sharanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Oh
Jai.
friends, just think of his wives whose hands he has accepted. How they must have undergone vows, baths, fire sacrifice, and perfect worship of the Lord of the universe, constantly relish now the nectar from his lips by kissing. The damsels of Rajabhumi would often faint just expecting such favors. Purport. Religious rites prescribed in the scriptures are meant to purify the mundane qualities of the conditioned souls to enable them to become gradually promoted to the stage of rendering transcendental service unto the Supreme Lord. Attainment of this stage of pure spiritual life is the highest perfection, and this stage is called Swarupa, or the factual identity of the living being. Liberation means to renovate this stage of Swarupa. In that perfect stage of Swarupa, the living being is established in five phases of loving service, one of which is the stage of Madhurya Rasa, or the humor of conjugal love. The Lord is always perfect in himself, and thus he has no hankering for himself. He, however, becomes a master, a friend, a son, or a husband to fulfill the intense love of the devotee concerned. Herein, two classes of devotees of the Lord are mentioned in the stage of conjugal love. One is Swakiya and other is Parakiya. Both of them are in conjugal love with the personality of Godhead Krishna. The queens at Dwaraka were Swakiya or duly married wives, for the damsels of Raja were young friends of the Lord while he was unmarried. The Lord stayed at Vrindavana till the age of 16, and his friendly relation with the neighboring girls were in terms of Parakiya. These girls, as well as the queens, underwent severe penances by taking vows, bathing, and offering sacrifice in the fire, as prescribed in the scriptures. The rites, as they are not an end in themselves, nor are fruitive action. Culture of knowledge or perfection in mystic powers ends in themselves. They are all means to attain to the highest stage of Swarupa to render constitutional transcendental service to the Lord. Each and every living being has his individual position in either of the above mentioned five different kinds of reciprocal means with the Lord. And in one's pure spiritual form of Swarupa, the relation becomes manifest without mundane affinity. The kissing of the Lord, either by his wives or his young girlfriends who aspire to have the Lord as their fiancé, is not of any mundane perverted quality. Had such things been mundane, a liberated soul like Shukadeva would not have taken the trouble to relish them, nor would Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have been inclined to participate in those subjects after renouncing worldly life. This stage is earned after many lives of penance. Text 29. या वीर्यशुल्केन कृतः स्वयंवरे रामत्यचैध्य प्रमुखान् हि शुष्मिनः प्रद्युम्न संभव सुताद्ययो परा यश्चहृता भौमवधे सहस्रशः. Yeah, the lady, Virya prowess, Shulkena, by payment of the price, Pritaha, taken away by force, Swayam Swayamvare, in the open selection of the bridegroom, Ramathaya, harassing, Shaida, King Shishupal, Prabh Khan, headed by he positively, Shushminaha, all very powerful, Pradyumna, Krishna son, Samba, Amba, Sutha Adayaha, children, Aparaha, other ladies. Yaha, those. Cha, also. Ahar, taha, taha, similarly brought. Bhauma vadhe, after killing kings. Sah, harshash, oh my god. Saharshrashaha, by the thousand translation. Pradyumna, Samba, Amba, etc. are his children, and ladies like Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jhambavati, etc. were forcibly taken away by him when he selected them as brides after defeating many powerful kings headed by Shishupal. And other ladies were also forcibly taken away by him after he killed Baumasura and thousands of his assistants. All of them are glorious. Purport. Exceptionally qualified daughters of powerful kings were allowed to make a choice of their own bridegrooms in open competition, and such ceremonies were called. Please scroll down. Were called. No. Please scroll up. Swayamvara, or selecting the bridegroom. And because it was open competition between rival and valiant princes, such princes were invited by their fathers of the princes. And usually there were regular fights between the invited princely order in a sporting spirit. But it so happened that sometimes the belligerent princes were killed in such marriage fighting, and the victorious prince were offered the trophy princess for whom so many princes died. Rukmini, the principal queen of Lord Krishna, was a daughter of the king of Vidarbha, who wished that his qualified and beautiful daughter be given away to Lord Krishna. But her eldest brother wanted her to be given away to King Shishupal, who happened to be a cousin of Krishna. So there was open competition, and as usual, Lord Krishna emerged successful after harassing Shishupal and other princes by his unrivaled prowess. Rukmini had 10 sons like Pradyumna, etc. There were other queens also taken away by Lord Krishna in a similar way. Full description of this beautiful booty of Lord Krishna will be given in the 10th canto. There were 16,100 beautiful girls who were daughters of many kings and were forcibly stolen by Baumasura, who kept them in captive for his carnal desire. These girls prayed piteously to Lord Krishna for their deliverance and called by their fervent prayer. The merciful Lord released them all by fighting and killing Baumasura. All these captive princesses were then accepted by the Lord as his wives, although in the estimation of society they were all fallen girls. The all powerful Lord Krishna accepted the humble prayers of these girls and married them with the adoration of queens. So, altogether, Lord Krishna had 16,108 queens at Dwaraka, and in each of them he begot 10 children. All these children grew up, and each had as many children as the father. The aggregate number of the family numbered 10 million. Mm, Wow, 10 million, huh? Text
Hmm.
30. एथा परां श्रीवाम् अपस्तपेशलां निरस्तशौतं बत साधुकुर्वते या संगृहात् पुष्कर लोचनः पतिर्नाजातु अपैति अहर्तिभिर्हृदि स्पृशान्. Etha, all these women, param, highest, Tvam, womanhood, Apashtapesh, Shalam, without individuality, Nirashta, without Saucham, purity, Bathas, Sadhu, auspiciously glorified, Kurvate, do they make, Yasham, from those Grihat homes, Pushkara Lochanaha, the lotus eyed, Patihi, husband, Na Jatu, never at any time, Apaiti goes away, Ahartibihi, by presentation, Hridi in the heart, Sprisham, endeared. Translation. All these women auspiciously glorified their lives, despite their being without individuality or without purity. Their husband, the lotus eyed personality of Godhead, never left them alone at home. He always pleased their hearts by making valuable presentations. Purport. The devotees of the Lord are purified souls. As soon as the devotees surrender onto the lotus feet of the Lord sincerely, the Lord accepts them, and thus the devotees at once become free from all material contaminations. Such devotees are above the three modes of material nature. Can scroll down, Prabhu. There is no bodily disqualifications of a devotee, just as there is no qualitative difference between the Ganges water and the unfilthy drain water when they are amalgamated. Women, merchants, and laborers are not very intelligent, and thus it is very difficult for them to understand the signs of God or to be engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. They are more materialistic, and less than them are the Kiratas, Hunas, Andhras, Pulindas, Pulkashas, Abhira, Kanya, Yavana, Parshadaya, etc. Hmm. But all of them can be delivered if they are properly engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. By engagement in the service of the Lord, the designative disqualifications are removed, and as pure souls, they become eligible to enter into the kingdom of God. The fallen girls under the clutches of Bhaumasura sincerely prayed to Lord Sri Krishna for their deliverance, and their sincerity of purpose made them at once pure by virtue of devotion. Amit Prabhu, you can mute. The Lord therefore accepted them as his wives, and thus their lives became glorified. Such auspicious glorification was still more glorified when the Lord played with them as the most devoted husband. The Lord used to live with his 16,108 wives constantly. He expanded himself into 16,108 plenary portions, and each and every one of them was the Lord himself without deviation from the original personality. The Shruti mantra affirms that the Lord can expand himself into many as husband of so many wives. He pleased them with all presentations, even at a costly endeavor. He brought the Parijata plant from heaven and implanted it at the palace of Satyabhama, one of the principal queens. If therefore anyone desires the Lord to become one's husband, the Lord fulfills such desires in full. Thank you for allowing me to read, Prabhu. Anybody else would like to continue? They can go ahead. Thank you, Prabhu. Please forgive me for my misgivings in reading. Haribol.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay, one straight, Haribol. Haribol, who wants to read? Hare Krishna, Praveen.
Prabhu, may I read?
Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhu.
Pranam Prabhu Jai Prabhupada.
Prabhu, just a minute. एवं विधा गदन्तीनां स गिरः पुरयोश्चिताम् निरीक्षणे नाभिनन्दन् सस्मितेन ययौ हरिः. Evam Vidha, in this way, Gadantinam, thus praying and talking about him, Saha, he, the Lord, Giraha of words, Purayositam of the ladies of the capital, Nirikshanena, by his grace of glancing over them, Abhinandan, and greeting them, Sasmitena, with a smiling face, Yayo departed, Hari, the personality of Godhead. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. While the ladies of the capital of Hastinapur were greeting him and talking in this way, the Lord, smiling, accepted their good greetings, and casting the grace of his glance over them, he departed from the city. Prabhu, purport isn't there. Okay. Ajata Shatruh Pritanam Gopithaya Madhudvishah परेभ्यः शङ्कितः स्नेहात् Prayunkta Chaturanginam Anginim Ajata Shatru Maharaj Yudhishthira, who was no one's enemy, Pritanam defensive forces, Gopithaya for giving protection, Madhudvishaha of the enemy of Madhu Shri Krishna from others' enemies, Shankitaha being afraid of, Snehat of out of affection, Prayunkta engaged Chaturanginim four defensive divisions. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Maharaj Yudhishthir, although no one's enemy, engaged four divisions of the defense, horse, elephant, chariot, and army, to accompany Lord Krishna, the enemy of the Asuras, demons. The Maharaj did this because of the enemy was also out of affection for the Lord. But natural defensive measures are horses and elephants combined with chariots and men. Horses and elephants are trained to move to any part of the hill or forest or plains. The charioteers could fight with many horses and elephants by the strength of powerful arrows, even up to the standard of the Brahmastra, similar to modern atomic weapons. Maharaj Yudhishthir knew well that Krishna is everyone's friend and well-wisher, and yet there were asuras who were by nature envious of the Lord. So, out of fear of attack from others and out of affection also, he engaged all varieties of defensive forces as bodyguards of Lord Krishna. If required, Lord Krishna himself was sufficient to defend himself from the attack of others who counted the Lord as their enemy. But still, he accepted all the arrangements made by Maharaj Yudhishthir because he could not disobey the king who was his elder cousin. The Lord plays the part of a subordinate in his transcendental sporting, thus sometimes he puts himself in the care of Yashoda Mata for his protection in his so-called helplessness of childhood. That is the transcendental Leela or pastime of the Lord. The basic principle for all transcendental exchanges between the Lord and his devotees is exhibited to enjoy a transcendental bliss for which there is no comparison, even up to the level of Brahmananda. अथ दुर अथ दुरग अथ दुरागतान् शौरिः कौरवान् विरहातुरान् सन्निवर्त्य दृढं स्निग्धान् प्रायात् स्वनगरिं प्रियैः. अथ thus Duragatan, having accompanied him for a long distance, Shauri, Lord Krishna, Kauravan, the Pandavas, Virahaturan, overwhelmed by a sense of separation. And Prabhu,
I think
Prabhu
Swami
is
Prabhu
king.
has some issues. He will join back.
Oh, he left.
Yeah, I think he'll join back. He has only project, no?
Yes, Prabhu. Karti Prabhu, like regarding this tilak, like like you told, make it up to more than half of nose. Like, and yesterday I was watching one lecture of Tatadit Prabhu here of tilak. He was saying that it should be 3/4. But whenever I see like very few devotees make the very long tilak normally, and majority have like normal tulsi leaf.
No, you try to make it long, as Satyat Prabhu said. Don't worry about other devotees. You focus on a topmost devotee, like Prabhupada, Tathit Prabhu, and all. Try to follow
So
their
means at
example.
least it should be half the nose, no Prabhu.
At least, yeah.
Yeah. Means it would be fine Prabhu in college also. Like,
Of course. Of course, don't worry. They'll not say anything. They just think they're rascal, you know. If they look at your tilak, at least they get some benefit, some purification.
yes, Prabhu. Like today, I saw a senior. He was asking me, "Are you connected to ISKCON?" No, no, no. I'm connected to ISKCON. like preaching also like it becomes easier. It initiates preaching also, like Tatodit Prabhu was telling this.
So yeah, you just
Okay,
do like that.
I'll be
And
reading.
please start reading the Haribol.
Okay, Prabhu. Haribol. So where was I? Virahaturan, overwhelmed by the sense of separation, Sanivatya, politely persuaded, Dridham, determined, Snigdhan, full of affection, Prayat, full of no, Prayat, proceeded, Swanagarim, towards his own city, Dwarka, Priyai, with dear companions. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Out of profound affection for Lord Krishna, the Pandavas, who were of the Kuru dynasty, accompanied him a considerable distance to see him off. They were overwhelmed with the thought of future separation. The Lord, however, persuaded them to return home, and he proceeded towards Dwarka with his dear companions. Prabhu, is it discussing about after the Mahabharata war, like Lord Krishna returned into Dwarka?
Yes, Prabhu, the Kurukshetra war.
Okay. Now Lord is planning to return back. Kurujangala Panchalan Surashenan Yamunan Brahmavartam Kurukshetram Matsyan Sarasvatan Atha Marudhanvan Atikramya Sauvirabhirayoparan Anarthatan Bhargavopagat Shrangtavaho Manag Vibhu. Kurujangala, the province of Delhi, Panchalan, the part of province Punjab, Surashenan, part of the province of Uttar Pradesh, Saha with Yamunan, the districts on the banks of Yamuna, Brahmavartan, the parts of northern Uttar Pradesh, Kurukshetram, the place where the battle was fought, Matsyan, the province Matsya, Sa Sarasvatan, part of Punjab, Atha, and so on, Maru, Rajasthan, the land of deserts, Dhanwam, Madhya Pradesh, where water is very scanty, Atikramya, after passing Sauvir, Saurashtra, Abhirayo, part of Gujarat, Paran, western side, Anartan, the province of Dwarka, Bhargava, O Saunak, Upagat, overtaken by Shranta, fatigue, Vah, the horses, Manak, Vibhu, slightly because of the long journey. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Yeah.
O Saunak, the Lord then proceeded towards Kurunjangala, Panchala, Surasena, the land on the bank of the river Yamuna, Brahmavarta, Kurukshetra, Matsya, Saraswata, the province of the desert and the land of scanty water. After crossing these provinces, he gradually reached the Sauvira and Abhira provinces. The west of these reached Dwaraka at last. Purport. The provinces passed over by the Lord in those days were differently named, but the direction given is sufficient to indicate that he traveled through Delhi, Punjab, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Saurashtra, Gujarat, and at last reached his home province at Dwarka. We do not gain any profit simply by researching the analogous provinces of those days up to now. But it appears that the desert of Rajasthan and the province of scanty water like Madhya Pradesh, etc., were present even 5,000 years ago. The theory of soil experts that the desert developed in recent years is not supported by the statements of Bhagavatam. We may leave the matter for expert geologists to research because the changing universe has different phases of geological development. We are satisfied that the Lord has now reached his own province, Dwarka Dham, from the Kuru provinces. Kurukshetra continued to exist since the Vedic age, and it is sheer foolishness when interpreters ignore or deny the existence of Kurukshetra. Tatra tatraha tatrayair harihi prayudyatarhanah sayam bheje disham paschat gavishtho gam gatastada. Tatra tatra at different places. It so happened. Tatrayai by local inhabitants. Hari the personality of Godhead. Pradyutyata arhanah being offered presentations and worshipful regards. Sayam the evening. Bheje having overtaken. Disham direction. Paschat eastern. Gavish Gavishtha the sun in the sky. To the Gam to the ocean side. Gataha having gone. Tada at that time. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. On his journey through these provinces, he was welcomed, worshipped, and given various presentations. In the evening, in all places, the Lord suspended his journey to perform evening rites. This was regularly observed after sunset. Purport: it is said that the Lord observed the religious principles regularly while he was on the journey. There are certain philosophical speculations about even the Lord is under the obligations of fruitive action. But actually, this is not the case. He does not depend on the action of any good or bad work. Since the Lord is absolute, everything done by him is good for all, I think, good for everyone. But when he descends on earth, he acts for the protection of the devotees and for the annihilation of the impious non-devotees. Although he has no obligatory duty, still he does everything so that others may follow. That is a way of factual teaching. One must act properly himself and teach the same to others. Otherwise, no one will accept such blind teaching. He is himself the awarder of fruitive results. He is self sufficient and yet he acts according to the rulings of the revealed scriptures in order to teach us the process. If it does not do so, the common man may go wrong. But in the advanced stage, when one can understand the transcendental nature of the Lord, one does not try to imitate him. This is not possible. The Lord in the human society does what is the duty of everyone, but sometimes he does something which is extraordinary and is not to be imitated by the living being. His acts of evening prayer, as stated herein, must be followed by the living being. But it is not possible to follow his mountain lifting or dancing with the gopis. One cannot imitate the sun who can exhaust water even from a filthy place. The most powerful can do something which is all good, but our imitation of such acts will put us into endless difficulty. Therefore, in all actions, the experienced guide, the spiritual master who is the manifested mercy of the Lord, should always be consulted and the path of progress will be assured. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the first canto, 10th chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam entitled Departure of Lord Krishna for Dwaraka.
Haribo.
Hari Bol. Prabhu, in Gita, there is one verse no, regarding this. Lord says that I don't have any work in the three worlds, but still I perform them because and also people follow the great personalities.
Yes, Prabhu.
These books.
Yeah, this is true.
Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwarka. Text 1. Suta Uvacha Anartan sa upavr Anartan sa upavrajya Svridhan jana padan swakan Dadmaudavaram tesham vishadam samayan eva. Sutta Uvacha Sutta Goswami said, Anartan, the country known as Anartan Dwarka, Saha, he, Upparaja, reaching the border of Sridhan, most prosperous Janapadan city, Swakdin, his own, Dadmau sounded, Daravaram, the auspicious council, Panch, Panchajanya, Tesham of them, Vishadam, dejection, Shamyan, pacifying Eva, seemingly. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sutta Goswami said the Lord, upon reaching the border of his most prosperous metropolis, known as the country of the Anarthas, Dwaraka, sounded his auspicious counsel, heralding his arrival and apparently pacifying the dejection of the inhabitants. Purport: the beloved Lord was away from his own prosperous metropolis of Dwaraka for a considerably long period because of the battle of Kurukshetra, and thus all the inhabitants were overcome with the melancholia due to the separation. When the Lord descends on the earth, his eternal associates come with him, just as the entourage of the king accompanies him. Such associates of the Lord are eternally liberated souls, and they cannot bear the separation of the Lord even for a moment because of intense affection for the Lord. Thus, the inhabitants of the city of Dwarka were in a mood of dejection and expected the arrival of the Lord at any moment. So, the heralding sound of the auspicious counsel was very encouraging, and apparently, the sound pacified their dejection. They were still more aspirant to see the Lord amongst themselves, and all of them became alert to receive him in the befitting manner. These are the signs of spontaneous love of Godhead. स उच्चकाशे धवलो दरोप्य उरुक्रमस्याधरसो न सोनिमा दाध्मायमानः करकञ्जसम्पुते यथाब्जखण्डे कालहंस उत्सवनः. Saha, that Uchchakase became brilliant. Dhavalodara, white and fat boweled. Darah consul api, although it is so, Urukramasya of the great adventurer, Adharo Shuna, by the transcendental quality of his lips, Sonima reddened, Dadmaya Manah, being sounded, Kara Kanja Sampute, being caught by the grip of the hand, Yatha, as it is, Abja Khande, by the stem of lotus flowers, Kala Kalahamsa, ducking swan, Utsavana, loudly sounding. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The white and fat boweled conch-shell, being gripped by the hand of the Lord Krishna and sounded by him, appeared to be reddened by the touch of his transcendental lips. It seemed that a white swan was playing in the stems with red lotus flowers. Wow. Purport: redness of the white conch shell due to the lip touch of the Lord is a symbol of spiritual significance. The Lord is all spirit, and matter is ignorance of this spiritual existence. Factually, there is nothing like matter in the spiritual enlightenment, and the spiritual enlightenment takes place at once by the contact of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. The Lord is present in every particle of all existence, and He can manifest His presence in anyone by ardent love and devotional service of the Lord, or in other words, by spiritual contact with the Lord. Everything becomes spiritually reddened, like the conch shell in the grip of the hand. And the Paramahansa, or the supremely intelligent person, plays the part of ducking swan in the water of spiritual bliss, eternally decorated by the lotus flower of the Lord's feet. Text 3. तम उपश्रुत्य निनदम तम उपश्रुत्य निनदम जगद्भयावहं प्रत्युद्ययुः प्रजः सर्व भातृदर्शनलालसः. Tam, that, upashrutya, having overheard, nindanam, sound, jagadbhaya, the fear of material existence, bhayavaham, the threatening principle, prati, towards, udyayuh, rapidly proceeded, prajah, the citizens, sarvah, all, bhatri, the protector, darshan, audience, lalasah, having so desired. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The citizens of Dwaraka, having heard that sound, which threatens fear personified in the material world, began to run towards him first, just to have a long desired audience with the Lord, who is the protector of all devotees. But as already informed, the citizens of Dwarka who lived at the time of Lord Krishna's presence, they were all liberated souls who descended along with the Lord as entourage. All were very anxious to have an audience with the Lord, although they were never separated from the Lord by spiritual contact. Just as the gopis at Vrindavan used to think of Krishna while he was away from the village for cow herding engagements, so also the citizens of Dwarka were all immersed in thought of the Lord while he was away from Dwarka to attend the battle of Kurukshetra. Some distinguished fiction writer in Bengal concluded that the Krishna of Vrindavan and that of Mathura and that of Dwarka were different personalities. Historically, there is no truth of this in this conclusion. The Krishna of Kurukshetra and the Krishna of Dwarka are one and the same personality. Citizens of Dwarka were just in a state of melancholy due to the Lord's absence from the transcendental city, as much as we put in a state of melancholy at night because of the absence of the sun. The sound heralded by Lord Krishna was something like the heralding of the sunrise in the morning. So all the citizens of Dwarka awoke from the state of slumber because of the sunrise of Krishna, and they all hastened towards him just to uh, have an audience. The devotees of the Lord know no one else as protector. This sound of the Lord is identical with the Lord as we have tried to explain by the non-dual position of the Lord. The material existence of our present status is full of fear. Out of the four problems of material existence, namely the food problem, the shelter problem, the fear problem, and the mating problem, the fear problem gives us more trouble than the others. We are always fearful due to our ignorance of the next problem. The whole material existence is full of problems, and thus the fear problem is always prominent. This is due to our association with the illusory energy of the Lord known as Maya or external energy. Yet all fear is vanished as soon as there is the sound of Lord represented by his holy name, as it was sounded by Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the following 16 words: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We can take advantage of these sounds and be free from all threatening problems of material existence. Text 4 and 5. तत्रोपनितबलयो रवेर्दीपम् इवादृतः आत्माराममः पूर्णकामम् निजलाभेन नित्यदा प्रत्युत्फुल्लमुखः प्रोत्कुर् हर्षगद्गदया गिरा पितरां सर्वसुहृदाम् अवितारम् इवार्भकः. Tatra, therefore, thereupon, Upanita, having offered Balaya presentation, Raveh up to the sun, Deepam, lamp, Eva, like Adritaha, being evaluated, Atma Ramam, unto the self sufficient, Purna Kamam, fully satisfied, Nija Labhena, by his own potencies, Nityada, one who supplies incessantly, Priti, affection, Utfula Mukha, cheerful faces, Prochuhu, said Harsha, gladdened, Gadgadaya, ecstatic, Gira, speechless, Pitaram, unto the father, Sarva, all, Suhradam, friends, Avitaram, the guardian, Eva, like Arbhakaha, words. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The citizens arrived before the Lord with their respective presentations, offering them to the fully satisfied and self-sufficient one who by his own potency incessantly supplies others. These presentations were like the offering of a lamp to the sun. Yet the citizens began to speak in ecstatic language about receiving the Lord just as wards welcome their guardian and father. Purport: the Supreme Lord Krishna is described herein as Atma Ram. He is self-sufficient and there is no need for him to seek happiness from anything beyond himself. He is self-sufficient because his very transcendental existence is total bliss. He is eternally existent. He is all cognizant and all blissful. Therefore, any presentation, however valuable it may be, it is not needed by him. But still, because he is the well-wisher for all, one and all, he accepts from everyone everything that is offered to him in pure devotional service. It is not that he is in want for such things, because the things are themselves generated from his energy. The comparison is made herein, that is, it is something like offering a lamp in the worship of the sun. Offering the lamp in the um, where it is in the worship of the sun god. Anything fiery and illuminating is but an emanation of the energy of the sun, and yet to worship the sun god, it is necessary to offer him a lamp. In the worship of the sun, there is some sort of demand made by the worshipper, but in the case of devotional service of the Lord, there is no question of demand from either side. It is all a sign of pure love and affection between the Lord and the devotee. The Lord is the supreme father of all living beings, and therefore, uh, those who are conscious of this vital relation with God can make filial demands from the Father, and the Father is pleased to supply the demands of such obedient sons without bargaining. The Lord is just like the desire tree, and from Him everyone can have everything by the causeless mercy of the Lord. Uh, yes, as the Supreme Father, the Lord, however, does not supply to a pure devotee what is considered to be a barrier to the discharge of the devotional service. Those who are engaged in the devotional service of the Lord can rise to the position of unalloyed devotional service by His transcendental attraction.
Prabhu, okay, few more, Prabhu, at least few more.
Humor, okay, bro. Natah smate nath sadangri pankajam. Prabhu, can you like read it like with tune? Actually, I want to learn actually. Don't know much.
Oh, Karti Prabhu, can you help?
I'm just reading out. I'm having no tune.
Natasmate nata sadangri pankajam virinja vairinja surendra vanditam. Like that.
Yes, Prabhu, I'll try. Natasmate nath sadangri pankajam virincha surendra vanditam parayanam kshemam ihechyatam param nayatra kalah prabhavet parah Prabhu. Prabhu, main thing is when I read, like, if I catch up to the tune, like, pronunciation takes time. Firstly, I have to clear very much about the pronunciation, and I can catch up the tune.
But Prabhu?
Means, firstly, I have to very much clear about pronunciation, how to pronounce very fluently and very clearly. Then I
That
can
video,
get to the tune.
you can
that I
get that
feel.
from Pepper Peru's video. I'm pretty
Yes.
sure you watched, but if you kind of studied the word chart, like the cerebral, labial, and everything, you can get it down. Definitely, I believe it.
Yes, Prabhu. Like, once local learning course is there also, I think. Natah bowed down, Sma, we had done so. Te unto you, Nath, O. What happened? What happened? Yeah, Nath, O Lord, Sada, always. Angri Pankajan, the lotus feet. Virincha Brahma, the first living being. Uh, Vairincha, sons of Brahma like Sanak, Sanatan, etc. Surendra, the king of heaven. Vanditam, worshipped by Parayanam, the supreme. Kshemam, welfare. In this life. Ichchatam, one who so desires. Param, the highest. No, never. Yatra, wherein. Kalah, inevitable time. Prabhavet, can exert its influence. Parah, the transcendental, Prabhu, the Supreme Lord. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The citizens said, O Lord, you are worshipped by all demigods like Brahma, the four sanas, and even the King of Heaven. You are the ultimate rest for those who are really aspiring to achieve the highest benefit of life. You are the supreme transcendental Lord, and inevitable time cannot exert its influence upon you. But the Supreme Lord is Shri Krishna. As confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Samhita, and other authorized Vedic literatures. No one is equal to or greater than him, and that is the verdict of all scriptures. The influence of time and space is exerted upon the dependent living entities, who are all parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. The living entities are predominated Brahman, where the Supreme Lord is the predominating absolute. As soon as we forget this clear fact, we are once in illusion, and thus we are put into threefold miseries as one is put into dense darkness. The clear consciousness of the cognizant living being is God consciousness, in which one bows down unto him in all circumstances. भवायनस्त्वं भवविषभावना त्वम् एव मा तथा सुहृत्पतिः पिता त्वं सद्गुरुर्न परमं च दैवतां यस्यानुवृत्त्या कृतिनो बभूविम. Bhavaya for welfare, na for us, Tvam your lordship, Bhava just become Vishwa Bhavana, the creator of the universe, Tvam your lordship, Eva certainly, Mata mother, Atha as also, Suhrit well-wisher, Pati husband, Pita father, Tvam your lordship, Satguru spiritual master, Na our, Paramam the supreme, Cha and Daivatam worshipable deity, Yasya whose, Anuvritya following in the footsteps, Kritinaha successful, Babhuvima just become. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Creator of the universe, you are our Mother, Well-wisher, Lord, Father, Spiritual Master, and worshipable deity. By following in your footsteps, we have become successful in every respect. We pray therefore that you you continue to bless us with your mercy. Purport: the all-good personality of Godhead, being the creator of the universe, also plans for the good of all good living beings. The good living beings are advised by the Lord to follow his good advice, and by doing so, they become successful in all spheres of life. There is no need to worship any deity but the Lord. The Lord is all powerful, and if he is satisfied by our obedience unto his lotus feet, he is competent to bestow upon us all kinds of blessings for the successful execution of both our material and spiritual lives. For attaining spiritual existence, the human form is a chance for all to understand our eternal relation with God. Our relation with him is eternal. It can never be broken nor vanquished. It may be forgotten for but it can be revived also by the grace of the Lord. Following his instructions, which are revealed in the scriptures of all times and all places.
Okay, this is last one.
अहो सनाथ भवता स्म यद्वयम् त्रैविष्टपानाम् अपि दूरदर्शनम् प्रेमस्मितस्निग्धनिरीक्षणाननम् पश्येम रूपं तव सर्वसौभागम्. Aho, oh, it is good. It is our good luck. Sunathaha, to be under the protection of the master. Bhavata, by your good self. Sma, as we have become. Yat vayam, as we are. Traivishtapanam, of the demigods. Api, also. Dura darshanam, very rarely seen. Premasmita, smiling with love. Snigdha, affectionate. Nirikshana ananam, face looking in that mode. Pashyama, looking upon you. Rupam, beauty. Tava, your. Sarva, all. Saubhagam, auspiciousness. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Oh, it is our good luck that we have come again today under your protection by your presence. For your Lordship really visits even the denizens of heaven. Now it is possible for us to look into your smiling face, which is full of affectionate glances. We can now see your transcendental form, full of all auspiciousness. Purport. The Lord in his eternal personal form can be seen only by the pure devotees. The Lord is never impersonal, but he is the supreme absolute personality of Godhead, possible to be visited by devotional service face to face, which is impossible to be done even by the denizens of higher planets. When Brahmaji and other demigods want to consult Lord Vishnu, the plenary portion of Lord Krishna, they have to wait on the shore of the ocean of milk where Lord Vishnu is lying on white sand, Shweta-dvipa. This ocean of milk and the Shweta-dvipa planet are the replica of Vaikuntha Loka within the universe. Neither Brahmaji nor the demigods like Indra can enter into this island of Shweta-dvipa, but they can stand on the shore of the ocean of milk and transmit their message to Lord Vishnu, known as Kshirodakshai Vishnu. Therefore, the Lord is rarely seen by them. But the inhabitants of Dwaraka, because of their being pure devotees, without any inhabitants of uh, uh, where was I? Without any tinge of material contamination of pure fruitive activities and empirical philosophical speculation, can see him eye to eye by the grace of the Lord. This is the original state of the living entities and can be attained by reviving our natural and constitutional state of life discovered by um, devotional service. Devotional service only. Hari Bol.
Haribol. Okay, one more because it is short one.
Prabhu, can any other devotee can read?
Who wants to read the last one?
I can do it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yes, Prabhu. Please read, Prabhu.
Okay. Ya yam bhukya pasa sarabodhavan karun madhum vata suhrit didriksaya tatra dat koti pratima kshano bhavet ravim vinaksno ivasnastavachuta yari whenever ambuja aksha go to side one apasasara you go away Boho Bhavan yourself Barun the descendant of King Kuru Madhum the inhabitants of Mathura Rajabhumi Ba either Ata therefore for meeting them for meeting them Tatra at the time Abdaksh Koti millions Pratimaha years like that Kshanaha moment Bhavet becomes Ravim the sun. Vina, without akshnoho, yes, of the eyes. Iva, that. Naha, ours. Tava, your. Achyuta, O infallible one. Translation. First Canto, chapter 11. I don't know which verse it is. I think it's 15. O Lord, Lord, whenever you go away from Madhura Vrindavana, oh, it's 9. Thanks. Verse number 9. 111:9. O Lord, whenever you go away to Mathura, Vrindavana, or Hastinapur to meet your friends and relatives, every moment of your absence seems like a million years. O infallible one, at that time our eyes becomes useless, as if bereft of sun. Purport. We're all proud of our material senses for making experimental determination making experiments to determine the existence of God. But we forget that our senses are not absolute by themselves. They can only act under certain conditions. For example, our eyes, as long as the sunshine is there, our eyes are useful to a certain extent. But in the absence of sunshine, the eyes are useless. Lord Sri Krishna, being the primeval Lord, the supreme truth, is compared to the sun. Without him, all of our knowledge is either false or partial. The opposite of the sun is darkness. And similarly, the opposite of Krishna is Maya or illusion. The devotees of the Lord can see everything in true perspective due to the light disseminated by the Lord Krishna. By the grace of the Lord, the pure devotee cannot be in darkness of ignorance. Therefore, it is necessary that we must be in the sight of Lord Krishna, so that we can see both ourselves and the Lord in his different energies. As we cannot see anything in the absence of the sun, so also we cannot see anything, including our own selves, without factual presence of the Lord. Without him, all our knowledge is covered by illusion. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
No,
Want to
thank-
read more? Oh, it's a long one.
Yeah, one more I can
Oh, it's a short one. Yes, Prabhu.
do. I'm guessing it's the same one, but actually the halfway is like goes back to 8.
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhu, something happens in the middle.
Katam bayam nata shiro site twai prasana distaya kalita pasanan jivemate sundaram hasan sopitam apasyamanam vadamnam anoharam iti chotirita vachoha rajanam bhakta vatsalaha Shrim Vino Nugraham Drishtaya Vilanvan Pravistam Puram Katam how Bayam we Nata, O Lord, Siro Site, being abroad almost always, Twai, by you, Rashana, satisfaction, Drishtaya, by the glance, Kila, universal, Tapa, is race, so Sanam, vanquish, Tivema, shall be able to live, Te, your, Sundara, beautiful, Asa, smiling, so be decorated, Apasyamanam, mana, without having seen, Vadanam, face, Moharam, attractive. Iti, thus, chotirita, speaking, vacha, words, prajanam, of the citizens, bhakta, vatsalaha, kind to the devotees, Srinvana, thus hearing, anugraham, kindness, drishtaya, by glance, vitanavan, distributing, pravisat, entered, puram, dwarka, puri. Translation. O Master, if you lived abroad all the time, then we cannot look at your attractive face, whose smiles vanquishes all our suffering. How can we exist without your presence? The Lord, who is very kind to the citizens of the devotees, upon hearing their speeches, entered the city of Dwarka and acknowledged all their greetings by casting his transcendental glances over them. Purport. Lord Krishna's attraction is so powerful that once being attracted by him, no one can tolerate separation from him. Why is this so? Because we're all eternally related with him, as the sun rays are eternally related with the sun disk. The sun rays are molecular parts of the solar radiation. Thus, the sun rays and the sun cannot be separated. The separation by the cloud is temporary and artificial. As soon as the cloud is cleared, the sun rays again display their natural effulgence in the presence of the sun. Similarly, the living entities or molecular parts of the whole spirit are separated from the Lord by the artificial covering of Maya, illusory energy. Illusory energy, or the curtain of Maya, is to be removed, and when it is done, the living entity can see the Lord face to face. All his miseries are at once removed. Every one of us wants to remove the miseries of life, but we do not know how to do it. The solution is given here. It rests upon us to assimilate it or not. Madhu Bojata. You want to do this one?
Yes, Prabhu.
This room. Madhu Bojata Sahara Kukurandaka Vishrinbihi Atmatula Bale Guptam Nagir Bhagavatam Niva. Madhu Oja Dasara Ata Arha Kuruha Andaka Vishnibhi, by the descendants of Vrishni, Atmatulya, as good as himself, by Lehi, by strength, Guptam, protected, Nagehi, by the Nagas, Boga Vatim, the capital of Nagaloka, Eva, like. Translation. As Bhogavati, the capital of Nagaloka, is protected by the Nagas, so was Dwarka, protected by the descendants of Vrishni, Boja, Madhu, Dasara, Arha, Kurua, and Andaka, etc., who are strong as Lord Krishna. Purport. The Nagaloka planet is situated below the Earth planet, and it is understood that the sun rays are hampered there. The darkness of the planet is, however, removed by the flashes of the jewels set on the head of the Nagas, celestial serpents. It is said that there are beautiful gardens, rivulets, etc., for the enjoyments of the Nagas. It is understood here that the place is well protected by the inhabitants. So the city of Dwarka was well protected by the descendants of Vrishni, who were as powerful as the Lord, insofar as he manifested his strength upon this earth. One more?
Yes, Prabhu.
Sarva to sarva vibhava punya vriksha lata sarami udyano pavanaramir ritapat bakara sriram. Sarva, all ritu seasons. Sarva, all vibhava opulences. Punya, pious. Viksha, trees. Lata, creepers. Ashrami, all the hermitages. Udyana, orchards. Upavana, flower gardens. Armai, pleasure gardens and beautiful parks. Rita, surrounded by. Padma, Arka, the places of. Can you scroll a little bit up? I was still. Yeah. Okay, birthplace of lotuses or nice reservoirs of water. Shriyam, increasing the beauty. Translation: the city of Dwarka was filled with the opulences of all seasons. There were hermitages, orchards, flower gardens, parks, and reservoirs of water, breeding lotus flowers all over her board. Perfection of civilization is made possible by utilizing the gifts of nature in their own way. As we find herewith in the description of opulence, Dwarka was surrounded by flower gardens and fruit orchards, along with reservoirs of water and growing lotuses. There is no mention of mills and factories supported by slaughterhouses, which are necessary for paraphernalia of modern metropolis. The propensity to utilize nature's own gifts are still there. Even in the heart of modern civilized men, the leaders of modern civilization select their own residential quarters in a place where there are such naturally beautiful gardens and reservoirs of water, but they leave the common men to reside in congested areas without parks or gardens. Herein, of course, we find a different description of the city of Dwarka. It is understood that the whole Dhamma or residential quarters were surrounded by such gardens and parks with reservoirs of water where lotuses grew. It is understood that all people depended upon nature's gifts of fruits and flowers without industrial enterprises promoting filthy huts and slums of residential quarters. Advancements of civilization is estimated not in the growth of mills and factories to determine the finer instinct of the human being, but it rests on developing the potent spiritual instincts of human beings and giving them the chance to go back home, back to Godhead. Development of factories and mills is called ugra karma, or pungent activities. Such activities deteriorate the finer sentiments of the human being in society to form a dungeon of demons. We find herein the mention of pious trees which produce seasonal flowers and fruits. Impious trees are useless jungle only, and they can only be used to supply fuels. The modern civilization, such impious trees are planted on the sides of the roads. Human energy should be properly utilized to developing the finer senses of spiritual understanding, in which lies the solution of life. Flowers, fruits, flowers, beautiful gardens, parks, and reservoirs of water, with ducks and swans playing in the midst of lotus flowers, and cows giving sufficient milk and butter are essential for developing the finer tissues of the human body. As against this, the dungeons of mines and factories and workshops about demoniac propensities in the working class. The vested interests flourished at the cost of the working class, and consequently, there are severe clashes between them in so many ways. The description of Dwarka is an ideal of human civilization.
Oh, really nice purport.
It is. This is one of my favorite purports. Very nice report.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay, this one is
It is
short.
which one, Prabhu? SB 1.2 point?
111,
13.
12. 111, 12.
No, okay. Means regarding this nature and best civilization. Presently, it's happening just the opposite.
Yes, Prabhu.
Just killing the nature to build factories and big buildings and just nonsense things.
Yes, Prabhu, and planting the nonsense trees everywhere.
That's a fact, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. And they cannot have the fruit trees along the road because they have so much of the
I mean, Prabhu, one main thing I realized few days back, because I am doing research also here in my department.
Yes,
So,
Prabhu.
like, if we assume the life of Dwarka or Vrindavan without any big buildings and all, so the nature will be at its best. And now what they are doing, building big companies, buildings here and there, workshops, factories, whatever else, and they are polluting water, they're polluting the soil. And then now this researchers and this people who do startups, the people who like they will be like how to treat that, how to remove bacteria from water, how to get soil to the best, how to plant the like trees like without soil but in some greenhouse, planting them using air, like banging their heads into the studies of science so much, but ignoring the basic fact that we must like nature should be more than 50-60%, not these like factories. Like now nature is very less, like 20-30%. So this basic thing, the people if they understand factories, if they want they can keep, but not more than 30% of the area. Like for 60-70% should be nature and well maintained also.
Yes, Prabhu. Most
But
of the things
people are going to urban areas.
Yes, Prabhu. Most of the things now that are getting manufactured end up as some garbage somewhere. They are
Yeah, they
used
all are
one.
garbage, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Filled with preservatives, what chemicals, not just very bad for us. It's just like putting trash into ourselves
Yes, Prabhu.
compared to just cooking with love and offering to the Lord and then having that. If people like uh, can just had that prasadam for just straight away 1 month or just 10-15 days, they'll just forget all these packaged stuffs, all restaurants, everything. Means anyone can bet that because that is Lord's prasadam.
Yes,
But still,
Prabhu.
people are dying for all of this.
Okay, let's read
Actually,
this one.
when they're asking this question, how can we do this? How can we do that? How can we stay green? They're asking a question, how can we start a fire while pouring water? All these things that they're trying to do, they're trying to do it in like how do you
Prabhu,
say
it's ironical. It's very
simultaneously
ironical.
with the factories, with everything, even though they want to so-called quote unquote shut down everything. Still, like they want to like hold up these factories. That's all I gotta say. Sorry.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. And like basic things, human forget that whatever things are created by God is for like is created by God to be in harmony with nature. Like everyone can get benefit out of that. Like we eat coconut, we like burn the coconut and we use that as a cup, as holding water, everything. Like nothing gets wasted. And but if humans create anything by their own understanding and their own mind, surely they will be harming nature. Like they are like now harming the water, air, soil, and also the minds of people. They are going into so much stress and all depression, like working like anything and not realizing the basic true nature what we should do.
Yes, Prabhu. First they build the factories, then they build the robots to work the factories, and
Yes.
then everyone is jobless and causing problems and drinking and all this.
That's a fact, bro.
Okay, Haribo, last verse, who will read?
May I read, bro?
Yes, Prabhu.
गोपुरद्वारमार्गेषु कृतकौतुकतोरणं चित्रध्वजपताकग्रैर् अन्तः प्रतिहता तपाम्. Gopura, the gateway of the city. Dwar, door. Margeshu, on different roads. Krita, undertaken. Kautuka, because of festival. Toranam, decorated ark. Chitra, painted. Dhwaja, flags. Pataka, agrah, by the slogan signs. Antah, within. Pratihata, checked. Tapam, sunshine. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Yasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Fine.
The city gateway, the household doors, and festooned arcs along the roads. Bro, what is festooned arcs?
Read this.
Festoon. That's like the festival paraphernalia, like all the decorations and everything.
Okay, decorated thing. Okay, chain of garland of flowers leaving. Okay, bro. The city gateway, the household doors, and festooned arcs along the roads were all nicely decorated with. Bro, you can remove that. Nicely decorated with festive signs like plantain trees and mango leaves, all to welcome the Lord. Flags, garlands, and painted signs and slogans all combine to shade the sunshine. Purport: the signs of decoration in special festivals were all also collected from the gifts of nature, such as the plantain trees, the mango trees, fruits, and flowers. Mango trees, coconut palms, and plantain trees are still accepted as auspicious signs. The flags mentioned above were all painted either with the picture of Garuda or Hanuman, the two great servitors of the Lord. For devotees, such paintings and decorations are still adored, and the servitor of the master is paid more respects for the satisfaction of the Lord. Hari Bol.
Haribo. Okay, now let's read 6 as the
Prab-
compare.
Prabhu, in this 1.2, 10 to 12, like all three verses, it is being talked about the nature and exploitation factories and things.
Yes, Prabhu, it's describing how the ideal city was.
Yes, bro. So what I'm thinking, one thing I have, like I think too much on anything. So what I think that on weekends, like I'll try because in weekdays I don't get time. Like whatever I'll be reading and reading sessions or other lectures, if I find very nice words, so I can use 2 3 verses and just expand over that without changing its content, so that today's people may relate how it's happening and may share to it on like WhatsApp or Instagram, or I don't know where I'll share. Presently, I'm just sharing in my WhatsApp because I want to preach like this, uh, without changing Prabhupada's words, just expanding on so that people can get more relatable.
Yes, Prabhu, this is a nice idea.
So you can help me in this. Like, I want to spread it online. Like, which platforms I can share apart from WhatsApp, Instagram.
Yes, Prabhu, you can use Reddit also.
What, bro?
You can use the Reddit also.
Reddit also.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, bro.
Cheto darpanamarjanam pavamaha davagninirvapanam Shreyah Kairavachandrika Vitaranam Vityavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamritasvadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam.
नाम नामकारी बहुरा निज सर्वशक्तिश तत्रार्पिता नियमितस्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवम् ईदृशम् इहाजनेनानुरागः
Karnadapi Sanichana Torapi Sahishana Amanina Manidina Kitanya Sadari.
न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिरहैतुकी त्वयि
ऐनन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधो कृपया तव पादपङ्कजा स्थितधूलि सदृशं विचिन्तया
Nayanam
नयनं
Kala.
गल
Abel, let's do
Yes,
it,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Prabhu, you can continue.
Okay. Nayanam Kala Sudarya Fatinam Kala Rudagriya. Pulakini Tambapukata Tavanama Grehe Bhavisati.
युगायितं
युगायितं निमेषेण
निमेषेण शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे
आश्लिष्य वा पादरतं पिनष्टु माम् अदृशनां मर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः
Haribol, glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names, but I am so unfortunate I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord and almost stay blind, thinking oneself Lord than strong the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree devoid of all sense, false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want you causeless devotional service birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from the ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet.
Oh my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love from constant when I chant your own name? When will my voice choke up a word? And when will the hairs on my body stand on end of the recitation of your name?
O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything. He is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Baujanma Karayadi Shravana Kirtan Tabutana Paya Krishna Pade Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many birds, he will not get the love of God. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The 10 offenses to the holy name are as follows. First offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
Second offense, consider names of demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the holy name of Lord Vishnu.
Third offense
Third
to
offense
disobey
to
the orders of the
disobey
spiritual
the
master.
orders of the spiritual master and to consider him as an ordinary human being.
Correct.
Fourth offense to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literatures in pursuance to the Vedic version.
Fifth offense, to consider glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination.
Sixth offense to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord.
Seventh offense, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord.
Eighth offense, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda.
Ninth, to
Ninth offense, to instruct a
person.
faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
Ivo.
10, to not have complete faith in Canto, the holy name, and to maintain some material attachment even after understanding some instructions on this matter. It's also an offense to be intent about chanting. I think it's every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema.
Ivo. Let us
Ivo.
offer our humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava
All
devotees.
the Vaishnava
O
devotees
Lord,
of
who
the
are
Lord,
just like
they
most
can
fulfilling
fulfill
desires
the
of
desires of
everyone, and you
everyone,
can
just
fulfill
like
the
the
desire of all
devotees.
our special
They are fulfilling all the compassion.
Jai Radha
Vanchakalpadurubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo
Vanchakalpadurubhyascha
vaishnavebhyo namo
Titanam
namaha.
pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
अनंता कुछ वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्याम
Jai.
हरि की जय
Jai,
निताई
Jai.
गौर आप
Jai.
हरि
Premanande
हरि
Hari Hari
बोल।
Bol.
Thank you so much, dear devotees. Haribo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manu Prabhu, for joining.
Lord,
Everybody, kindly please remember to fill the sadhana chart. Kindly, everybody, remember to fill the sadhana chart.
Yes, Prabhu.
And
Ceremony
this
special
week,
and
His Grace Prabhu will be joining. And also,